Have you ever felt that you are capable of more, but something inside whispers, "Don't try, you will fail"? What if I tell you that the only thing standing between you and the life you dream of is the way you see yourself? Stay with me, because today's story might change how you think about confidence forever. By the way, welcome to this channel. Here, we learn English through powerful short stories every single day. Just one story a day, make it your new habit, and you'll see your English grow naturally. Emma was 23. She had just graduated from university with a degree in marketing. Her grades were good, but not perfect. She had some experience as an intern, but nothing extraordinary. When she saw an opening for her dream job, assistant in a creative advertising agency, she almost skipped it. Her inner voice whispered, "You're not ready. They will choose someone smarter, more talented, more experienced." Still, she decided to apply. On the day of the interview, Emma walked into the office. There were 10 other candidates waiting. All of them looked confident, stylish, professional. She felt small. Her hands were cold, her heart was racing. When it was her turn, she entered the room with 2 interviewers staring at her. The first question was simple: "Tell us about yourself." And suddenly, she froze. Her mind went blank. She stuttered. "Well, I studied at..." She left the room feeling crushed. On the bus ride home, she kept repeating to herself, "I am not good enough. I am not confident enough. I will never get this job." But here's the twist. A week later, she received a call. "Emma, we saw potential in you. You didn't show confidence in the beginning, but in the last 5 minutes, when you talked about your passion for creative ideas, your eyes lit up. That's what convinced us." The lesson? Confidence is not about pretending you are perfect. It is about letting your true passion shine through. People feel it more than perfect words.
Now, let's talk about Daniel. He was the kind of guy who always said yes. Yes to extra work, yes to favors, yes to invitations he didn't want. Why? Because deep inside, he was afraid of rejection. He thought, if I say no, people won't like me. They will think I'm selfish. One day, his manager came to him at 5 p.m., just as Daniel was packing his things to leave. "Daniel, I need you to stay late and finish this report. It's urgent." Daniel's stomach turned. He had promised his sister he would come to her birthday dinner. For a second, he wanted to agree, as always. But then, something inside him shifted. He took a deep breath and said, "I'm sorry, but I already have an important commitment tonight. I can't stay late." The manager frowned. Daniel's heart raced. He expected anger, punishment, maybe even losing his job. But the manager just sighed. "All right, I'll ask someone else. Enjoy your evening." Daniel walked out of the office in shock. It was the first time in his life he had protected his own boundary, and nothing terrible happened. The lesson? Self-confidence grows every time you respect yourself enough to say no. It's not about being rude. It's about valuing your time and your life. Sophia loved singing. At home, in the shower, in her car, she sang everywhere. But when it came to performing in front of people, she froze. Her biggest fear? Standing on stage. One day, her best friend secretly signed her up for a local talent show. When Sophia found out, she almost cried. "I can't do this. Everyone will laugh at me. I'll forget the lyrics. My voice will shake." But it was too late to cancel. On the night of the show, she stood backstage, trembling. Her legs felt like stone. Her hands were sweaty. The host called her name. She stepped onto the stage. The lights were blinding. The microphone felt heavy. She looked at the audience, about 50 people staring at her. For a moment, she wanted to run away. But then, she remembered something her grandmother used to say. Confidence doesn't mean you are not afraid. It means you sing even when your voice shakes. Sophia took a deep breath. The music started. Her voice was trembling at first, but with each line, it grew stronger. By the end of the song, the audience was clapping and cheering. Sophia walked off the stage with tears in her eyes. She had done it. She wasn't perfect, but she was brave. The lesson? Confidence is built through action. You don't wait until fear disappears. You act despite the fear. And that is how confidence is born.
So, what do these 3 stories tell us? Emma showed that passion can break through insecurity. Daniel discovered that boundaries make people respect you more. And Sophia proved that courage is stronger than fear. Confidence is not a magic gift. It is built step by step every time you dare to be authentic, protect your values, or face your fears. In the second part of this video, we'll dive even deeper. I'll share how confidence transforms careers, relationships, and even the way you see yourself in the mirror. So, stay with me. So far, we've seen how confidence shows up in job interviews, boundaries, and facing fear. But confidence doesn't just affect small moments. It can completely change the direction of your life. Let me tell you more stories. Alex was 30 years old, working in a safe but boring office job. Every day felt the same: emails, meetings, spreadsheets. But secretly, he dreamed of starting his own online store. For 2 years, he kept telling himself, "I don't have enough experience, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough confidence." One day, he met his old school friend Maya for coffee. She listened to his fears and then said something that stuck in his mind. Confidence doesn't come before you start. It comes because you start. That night, Alex couldn't sleep. The next morning, he registered a website, uploaded his first 3 products, and launched the store. The first month, he sold nothing. The second month, only 2 sales. By the third month, he was ready to quit. But Maya reminded him, "Keep going, show up, build your confidence in action." 1 year later, his store became profitable. 2 years later, he quit his office job. The lesson? Confidence is not built by waiting for the perfect moment. It grows through small, imperfect actions repeated over time. Nora moved to a new country. She barely spoke the language. In social situations, she stayed quiet, afraid of making mistakes. At work, she avoided conversations. At the supermarket, she just pointed instead of speaking. At parties, she stood in the corner, invisible. One day, her colleague invited her to lunch. Nora wanted to say no, but something inside her said, "This is your chance." During lunch, she tried to speak. Her sentences were broken, her grammar wrong. She felt embarrassed. But her colleague smiled and said, "Don't worry. I understand you, and I admire your courage to try." That moment changed everything. Nora realized that confidence was not about being perfect. It was about daring to connect. She started practicing every day. At first, short sentences, then full conversations. Slowly, people began to notice her warm personality. 2 years later, Nora gave a presentation in her second language to 50 colleagues. The same woman, who once stood silent in the corner, now stood tall in front of a crowd. The lesson? Confidence in communication grows when you stop chasing perfection and start chasing connection. Story 6. The Athlete's Comeback. Mark was a runner. In high school, he was the fastest in his class, but one accident during training injured his knee. Doctors told him he might never run again. For months, he avoided the track. He told himself, "What's the point? I'll never be the same." But one evening, he went for a slow walk around the stadium. He saw kids running, laughing, falling, and standing up again. Something inside him woke up. The next morning, he put on his old running shoes. He couldn't run, but he started walking every day, then jogging, then slow runs. His knee hurt, but little by little, it healed. After a year of effort, he competed in a local race. He didn't win, he didn't even finish in the top 10, but when he crossed the finish line, tears streamed down his face. Confidence for him wasn't about medals. It was about proving to himself, "I can rise again." The lesson? Self-confidence is built when you honor progress, not perfection.
So, what do these stories show us? Confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you practice every day in your choices, your words, your habits. So here's my challenge for you. This week, choose one small action that scares you a little. It could be speaking up in class, sharing your idea at work, or simply saying no when you need to. Do it, and you'll see your confidence grow. And remember, by the way, if you want to keep growing your English while building your confidence, make sure to subscribe. One story a day, one habit, and you'll see the difference.